What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We're here live on the Red Horizon PTS, and we are going to go into Lincoln Memorial on Heroic. We're going to test out another rifle build. I'm just going to move myself in just a little bit. We're going to test out some breaking point. Now, I've never really used breaking point. I don't like the fact that you have to kind of stack up the build. But we're going to give it a go with different kinds of guns. We're going to give it a go with guns with a big mag, like you see what I've got on now, the Resolute. And then we're going to give it a go with, you know, some bigger rifles like the 1886, the M1A. Now, it doesn't feel as good as Aces and Eights did already, but let's just have a quick look at the build. So we're using the Iron Will, and the problem that we've come across is that these guns fire faster than what the Iron Will's cooldown is, which I guess they've done that on purpose. But with Breaking Point, they give us some changes here as well. You can see now we have 30% here in these bonuses instead of 25%. They've added 30% here on the weapon handling, and the stack that we've got now, it lasts for 20 seconds instead. We haven't got the chest talent on, which is a little bit of a shame, because, well, I say a little bit of a shame, that actually just gives you 40 seconds on the on point timer. But I'm beginning to think that actually there is maybe that we should be running the backpack talent. So the on point weapon damage bonus goes from 4% to 9% with the, you can see here, per stack. Would that really outdo the rifle damage and vigilance? I'm thinking probably not, because that's stacked damage. And my initial thoughts are with this, and when it goes completely live and we get the actual verified versions of it, I'll test it. But this is on all of the time, not every other time, not dependent on my stacks or anything like that. So even with the damage buff from that, 25% weapon damage here and 12% weapon damage here, and an extra stat here as well, just kind of makes me think that we would be better off going this way instead. I've rolled this all with crit chance and crit damage instead of what you would usually assume with headshot damage, and that's just because I feel like that the bigger the mag on this, which is it more like an assault rifle, and that might be completely wrong. I was kind of testing something to see how it worked out, but again, as this goes live in the full game, we'll give it a full, you know, DPS and stat rundown there. But let's just go over the actual talent so you can see where I'm coming from. Hitting a shot with a rifle or an MMR grants a stack. The max stack is equal to the weapon's magazine size. Reloading will grant 2% weapon handling and 4% weapon damage per stack for 20 seconds. So the more stacks, the more damage, hence why we thought we would give it a go with a 50 round mag. So let's just do the next section and see how it plays out, and then we'll do the next section after that with a lower mag, and just see what kind of numbers we end up coming out with. Remember though, we had like close to 10 mils with the Aces and Eights. So now we've got the buff. Yeah, it just doesn't, it feels, yeah, it's still very, very like, ugh. You know, 2 mils. We slow fire it a little bit. Let's just swap over to the M1A. I mean, this is just not for me. 3 mils with the M1A. I mean, it's okay. I just don't feel like this is for me. I just don't feel like this is the way. I've only ever used breaking point to kind of unlock bonuses before. I've never really thought too much of the 4-piece talent, and I think even with this buff now, I still don't feel like I'm gonna think much of it. And I know what it wants to be. It really wants to be the midway set where you can use with rifles and with marksman rifles. But I think because of that, it just doesn't really hit. I mean, 5 mils respectable. But when you consider how fast we can, you know, fire a Lexington, I don't see why you would want to have to put yourself through this pretty much stress of playing. When I'm like making sure that I have to try and make sure that every single one of my shots hits. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just going to be in trouble. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It doesn't hit as well as Hot Shot does. It doesn't hit as, and all that snipers, and it definitely doesn't hit as well as Aces does. Maybe I should have leaned into all headshot with this instead. Maybe we could change that real quick and see if we get any better performance from it. But I was really expecting the gun with the bigger mag to win out on the talent. And therefore then not have to worry too much about this. Well, let's do this. Let's got to give it a fair run. Maybe I was wrong. Headshot damage there. I mean, the backpack, there's nothing we can do about. Headshot there. Mod. Headshot there. Headshot there. Alright, let's just try the next section. Yeah, I feel like of all the buffs of that everything's had, it feels like this breaking point probably just needs a little bit more juice than what it's actually been given. I mean, we're at 7 now. Six. So yeah, I mean, not terrible, but we're definitely just not hitting the heights of Aces and 8s, and we're playing exactly the same. And we also have a time restriction with breaking point. So not only do we start off with no damage right at the beginning, we have a time restriction when it comes to breaking point as well to use your damage. So it's definitely not quite at the heights of Aces. And it feels like because you have the time restriction, it probably should have more, right? You're being forced to use it quicker. So there's no way none of them shots hit. Yeah, and we couldn't take the yellow out there neither. And it's like now, you see, we're completely out of damage from our 4-piece. Yeah, alright, so my breaking point opinion still stands. It's just mid-tier. It's just not very good. And I think there may be some hope the backpack might bring it in a little bit more. But again, I'd rather not use the backpack because this is active all of the time. Can you imagine reducing your damage down even further just to try and get that 4-piece talent bonus a little bit higher when it's down 50% of the time? Yeah, probably a pass from me. So yeah, definitely a recommendation that they do a little bit more with this set. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, agents, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.